By 2105, the destruction of Earth's natural environment, what the by and large global conglomerate referred to as a shrinking global real estate reserve, had reached a critical stage. Unless dramatic measures were undertaken, humanity would become extinct, drowned beneath the endless tide of its own garbage. While such a crisis might have been taken as definitive proof of certain problems inherent to runaway consumerism and set the stage for reform, by and large instead opted for a solution that was more friendly to their bottom line. The result was the BNL Axiom, the culmination of an enormous shipbuilding program designed to take every feature of luxury living and make them available anywhere in the galaxy. As an interstellar cruise ship, vessels of the Axiom type were built first and foremost to accommodate vacationers on their extended sojourn across the solar system and beyond. They were the third and final class of Starliner commissioned by BNL, and considered such a massive leap over the preceding Zephyrus and Epiglottis classes that the Axiom was often specifically distinguished as an executive Starliner or a second-generation design. Much of its prestigious standing was owed to its enormous size, roughly 4,500 meters long, 900 wide, and 2,300 tall. The Axiom class was one of the largest spacecraft ever put into service. Its physical configuration included many of the elements that marked the final generation of BNL heavy industry, while also deliberately evoking the design motifs of maritime cruises and ancient sailing vessels. By and large intended for the Axiom to appear both futuristic and familiar, part of a larger effort to impart a sense of fun and adventure into the evacuation of Earth. Protected by nuclear-embedded positronium alloy hull plates, and superluminal starflight made possible by independently articulated flick and flare booster mass drivers, the Axiom was perfectly capable of either enduring or avoiding any cosmic phenomena it was likely to encounter. Both these systems and every other component related to the ship's essential functions were designed to minimize passenger discomfort. This was so effective that many of the Axiom's passengers forgot they were on a ship at all. Axiom-class Starliners could hold upwards of 600,000 people, providing luxury residences, unlimited dining, and nearly every form of recreation and amusement. Accommodations and amenities were divided into three broad categories: coach, economy, and first class. Each section ran the length of the ship from its stern to bow respectively, and were connected by a central hover rail line. The ship's defining feature was an artificial outdoors, a vast open area that ran through the center of the ship's coach class. Mimicking the aesthetics of by and large megamalls, this central courtyard housed the majority of the ship's dining and shopping areas, as well as casinos, cinemas, fitness centers, libraries, lounges, spas, and schools. Much of the ship's economy class was comparatively bare bones, with more residences and fewer amenities, while first class resembled more of a spa-like environment. Every section, however, was flooded with advertisements and automated messaging, keeping the ship's population informed on the latest trends and sales. Despite the Axiom's immense size and the extraordinary requirements of its passengers, only a single crew person, the ship's captain, was assigned to each vessel of the class. This was mainly a ceremonial position. Captains were expected to appear in advertisements, mingle with passengers, and be seen drinking coffee on the bridge, but their impact on the ship's functions were very limited. Only in how the morning announcements were presented did the captain exhibit any kind of leadership. Without any manual control or human oversight, the administration and maintenance of the Axiom instead fell to over 500,000 robots. These were involved in every facet of the ship's operation, from utility bots that kept the Axiom's surfaces pristine, to beauty bots that maintained basic hygiene across the human population. Fleets of these robots operated mostly behind the scenes, their movements confined to high-speed utility tunnels. The most powerful and advanced robot aboard the Axiom was the autopilot, a single command intelligence responsible for the safe and efficient operation of the ship. First launched in 2105, the Axiom and the other ships of its class helped to complete the evacuation of Earth before joining the rest of humanity on its tour of the solar system and surrounding space. although this first cruise was only intended to last 5 years, the failure of by and large to repair the Earth's environment meant that the recall order was never given. Ships like the Axiom undertook the same routes over and over, slowly transforming from luxury liners to the last vestiges of human civilization. For over 700 years, the Axiom efficiently fulfilled the role for which it had been designed. Generations of its passengers enjoyed lives of luxury and relaxation, while its automated workforce kept the ship just as immaculate as the day it first left orbit. Even centuries after by and large ceased to exist, the Axiom endured. But both this astonishing class of vessel and the company that created it were the victims of the same flawed philosophy. By and large aimed to provide everything all the time, but in doing so, it removed from humanity the drive it needed to not just survive, but truly live. Viewed from afar, the Axiom was an astonishing achievement. It was an unfathomably sophisticated starship, one able to traverse the galaxy for centuries, that might have gone on to do so for centuries more. But to step aboard it was to realize the lie. Whatever else it might have been, the Axiom was no true starship. It would never push the boundaries of human knowledge, or boldly go into some uncharted space. The Axiom was a prison, lavishly outfitted and pleasant to live in, but just as antithetical to the human spirit as any jail cell. It saved mankind once when it left, and again when it returned.
In Arsenal, the Templin Institute investigates the weapons, vehicles, and other constructs from across alternate worlds. If you've enjoyed this video and would like to join the Templin Institute, consider pledging to our Patreon page. Along with increased security access, you'll be able to vote in polls to determine future topics, get custom wallpaper every week, and receive some other exclusive rewards.